Hi, it's YouTube's #1 wrestling show, if you were to count backwards. But guys, we always do Dropkicking the Beauty anytime that we have an interesting topic to talk about, and one of the topics that I thought was really interesting. But before we get into that, I know you had some information about the Shield that you wanted to go into.
Well, let's just talk about last night's Raw, or last Monday's Raw, sorry.
Okay.
Shield reunites.
Right.
Take on the Miz, Taraj, and Cesaro.
The Mr.
The Miz, Taraj, Cesaro, and Sheamus.
Right.
Is this smart? Do you think that WWE is going too fast with this? I thought the build was really weak.
Just reuniting them again?
Yes, and I hope that they don't really go off on a tangent and just having them around all the time.
Right.
And I don't want them to break them up that fast, but what do you think about the Shield getting back together this soon?
Okay,
Fast?
it's never ever too soon for wrestling, especially for the WWE. If you think about how many times DX got back together. Over and over again.
True.
I mean, it's one of those
different incarnations, actually.
I mean, different incarnations, but still, the core always got back together. So, and they would always just like, oh, okay, DX is falling out, blah blah, and then close to WrestleMania, hey, DX is back together. They're gonna have a match or something like that. So, I don't think it's too soon, but I think it's one of the things where they don't have anything else to do with them when they're taking them out of the title shots.
Okay, I can see that.
Where it's like, we don't have anything. It's like we're pushing other people. So we want to do something where it'll still be with you guys that's still exciting to the crowd. And the Shield reunion is something that's exciting. People enjoy them together as a group. It's just that why waste them on smaller matches that people aren't really going to care about?
Well, you got individually, you got the tag champs. Seth and Dean are the tag champs. And then you have Roman Reigns, who has really struggled to have the audience, the universe buy into him.
Especially a person been basically given the keys to WWE and still has not kind of broke through. Right.
So in a way, they try to do this where they pitted him against John Cena. Mm-hmm. Where the crowd actually were chanting, "You both suck." So I don't even know what that. I don't think that was a WrestleMania type match, but they pushed it on a regular pay-per-view like No Mercy. Mm-hmm. So wasn't kind of feeling that. It turned out to be a decent match. Some dumb things from John Cena, but overall it was okay. Still didn't really get him over. Mm-hmm. This little feud that he's got going on with the Miz. And the build-up to get the Shield back, I thought was okay. I just think they brought the Shield back too soon. Mm-hmm. I think WWE is trying to go too fast, too soon, and they should have spread it out a little bit. But now that it's happened, it's already happened. How would you book them?
You got to do. Obviously, you're gonna get just like if you think about I want to call them bootios, but with the New Day, if you think about with the New Day, where they did the whole thing where anybody can defend the tag team belts. It's a way for to kind of mix up the matches, and it's like, oh, this time we'll have Seth, and this time we'll do Dean, and we'll do not Rollins.
Roman.
Thank you. I can't get his name right for the life of me. So it's like
that's how much he's gone over.
That's how much he's gone over. So it's one of those things where let's just keep mixing up the tag team, and they can ride that for a long time like they did with New Day. I was like, that's all you're gonna do is basically Demolition 7,000 version. Yeah, exactly. It's like
Roman Reigns is crushed. Roman Reigns is crushed. Oh, that's awful.
So that's how you would do it, and just basically keep putting them, because there's so many people that you can do in tag matches against that we've never seen. So it brings they can ride this for a little while for the next couple of months until the people get tired of that, and then they can split them back.
Well, I'm curious to see exactly. I'm curious to see if how they're going to the route they're gonna take going into what's next. The next main one is Survivor Series, and Survivor Series, and then going into the Rumble to WrestleMania.
Right.
I don't know how long they're gonna keep that. I think right now it's just gonna be a nostalgia act for now. I guess if you want to call it a nostalgia act. For now, until eventually they split them up again, so they can go for their singles runs again to Mania, because somebody's got one of those three have to go to Lesnar,
right? And
more than likely it's going to be Roman Reigns. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work. I was going to ask you this.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it the other day. Do you think that the Shield is the best stable of all time?
Of a group of wrestlers?
Yeah, it's a stable. Yeah.
No.
A faction.
No.
You don't?
No.
Why?
They're not even DX. They're not even Road Dogg and Billy Gunn.
As a faction, DX to me.
They're not even the Nation.
To me, I don't know about that one.
They're not even Crime Time. Oh, okay, I'm just making fun.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay. I think DX is the best faction of all time. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, the best faction.
You know, a lot of people say the Four Horsemen. They'll say NWO.
Yeah.
But to me, it's DX. But if you really think about it, if you really think about it, the Shield is the only one where all members were world champions. Were WWE.
That's champions. Because at the time when they were doing DX, they weren't really pushing smaller guys to be the world, to have the world title. It was like you can get the IC belt, you can get a tag team belt, which is why Billy Gunn and Road Dogg went through that. That's why X-Pac never got it. He was like, you can be cruising.
Well, I think he was IC and then he was European.
Yeah, it's like you get all this other stuff, but you can't. You need to be damn near 7 feet tall and almost close to 300 pounds to be a champion, to be the true champion of WWE or WWF at that particular time. So that's just not what they were doing. It wasn't until we really got to the WCW. I really think it was WCW that did it, pushing it with like Rey Mysterio and stuff like that, showing a smaller person can be champion. Or when they got to Chris Jericho as a smaller person can be an actual champion. But really, I think you're right. But I don't fault them for not being champion. But if that's the case, think of how many times that they were tag team champions. How many times that HBK was champion. Right. How many times that Triple H was champion.
Just them two. Mm-hmm. But Road Dogg was never a champion.
And I just said about smaller guys, and Shawn Michaels is small.
Yeah,
I just thought about that right now.
But I think you're right, because I think WCW in a way kind of started the whole factions. To be honest with you, I might be wrong, but that's just my opinion, because they had the Four Horsemen. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that really blew it up even more with the NWO. And once they did that, WWE had all these freaking factions and gangs and those Boricuas and DOA,
because that's all what's selling. It was selling merchandise at the time.
Right, merchandising. but as far as a dominance and as far as accolades and all of that, I honestly think that they are we gotta do a count, because I think that they've held more. I think they've held more titles collectively than what they've done. But they were all champs. They were all the face of the company. All three of them were the face of the company. No other faction can do that. Not one faction can ever really say completely that they were the face of the company besides Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Okay, cool, but not Road Dogg.
Let's think about NWO then, because NWO, I mean, basically before they ballooned into like 30 members,
Razor Ramon was never world champion.
Really?
He was IC champ.
I was gonna say there was.
Yeah, they were close, because he had
Nash and Hogan, and I was like,
that's it. Razor Ramon was IC champ only. He never.
I thought he was.
Had he stayed, I'm pretty sure he would have gotten it.
I thought he was champion. No. Damn.
All right.
I threw it out.
Well, let us know what you think. Is the Shield the best and most dominating faction of all time? I think yes, only because all three were the face of the company. All three were world champs.
Okay.
Terrence, take us home.
All right, as always, I'm scouring the internet and the wrestling blogs to kind of find out all the interesting news and topics to talk about. So if you guys hear anything, definitely let us know in the comments below. We'd love to talk about interesting topics and interesting things that make you kind of go, but as always, make sure you like and subscribe, so that way you know about all the other different videos that we have coming out, as well as telling us that you still like that we talk about wrestling.
For Aspen in the back, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And we'll see you next time. Kari Singh.
We were able to do the trailer review with no notes. Well, more or less you were just reading the notes of the actual trailer, but no real notes. So we can do this. Yeah. We can freeball this, sir.
We'll freeball it.